Palantir Technologies is scheduled to announce earnings on February 5th. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about why I've been buying up call options in anticipation of this report, or to be more direct, why I think they're going to beat earnings and exceed expectations. My name is Royce Jacob, and welcome back to Waves Capital. All right, you guys, I'll keep this one short and sweet. Let's quickly go over each of the tabs I want to share with you, and then we'll dive into each one individually. First things first, we're on Palantir's website. Go over a very brief description of what this company does in their own words. As always, if you guys want to invest or are looking to invest in this company, go check out the website for yourself, check out their investors tab, and do as much due diligence as you possibly can. Next up, we just looked at that. That was just for the intro. Next, we have an article. First, touching on why Cathie Wood and the ARK Innovation ETF has been buying up the dips on Palantir. We'll talk about why Palantir's business is thriving as well. Hint, hint, AI. Palantir is an AI company. AI is hot, and Palantir is, in my personal opinion, one of not only the safest plays, but one of the most promising plays in the entirety of the AI sector in 2024. Okay, after that, we'll go over a few short paragraphs from this article from Investor Place. One, discussing valuation, and then talking about a potential S&P 500 inclusion over the course of the year. Last but not least, this is the fun part. We'll talk about technicals. I want to talk to you about where I think Palantir stock could go in the case that they do beat on earnings, and talk about what happened after their last earnings report to kind of, preface what could potentially go down after this one. If it ain't obvious, I'm bullish. Okay, so that's the video, you guys. Before we get to reading, please let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish on Palantir? Are you invested in Palantir? And if you want to know how I'm personally trading Palantir in my own portfolio, in the Waves portfolio, if you want to get my daily trade alerts, I just mentioned the ARK ETF. I actually picked up a bunch of the ARK ETF this morning. If you guys want my daily trade alerts, if you want to know how I'm trading Palantir, if you want to know the call options I bought that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, then check out my complete portfolio and daily trade alerts email newsletters. It's the first link in the description of this video. You will receive everything that this box here entails. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. Completely up to you. Give it a shot for free. And if you don't like it, you can always peace out. But I trust you guys will be sticking around. So far, so good over at Waves Capital in 2024, and I'm really excited for what's ahead of us. So again, that is the first link in the description of this video if you guys want to check it out. If not, no worries at all. Let's get to reading. So Palantir, powering AI-assisted decision-making from war zones to factory floors. We build category-leading software that empowers organizations to create and govern artificial intelligence across public and private networks. Okay? Simple, sweet. Once again, go check out the investor tab on their page if you're new to Palantir or if you're thinking about investing, of course. Okay, so moving on. Again, I'll just close this one out because I keep clicking on it. Cathie Wood and ARK Invest trade activity from today. This is a little while ago, as you guys can tell. Here, let's actually just click on this. That was almost unnecessary. Okay, so let's zoom out here. I don't know why it keeps zooming like that, but you can see this was from January 5th by Palantir Technologies in the ARK F fund. And then there's a buy on Palantir Technologies up here. And what I'm assuming is just the original ARK fund, the ARKK fund. Okay, currently Palantir stock is the 25th largest holding among ARK Invest exchange traded funds and represents 1.3% of its combined portfolio. Okay, let's get to reading. Palantir's business is thriving. Palantir markets its software products via 4 channels: Foundry, Apollo, Gotham, and artificial intelligence platform AIP. AIP was launched in 2023, and early signs indicate that it could be a monumental success. Following AIP's release, Palantir began hosting immersive seminars and called boot camps. During these events, prospective customers are able to demo Palantir's various software platforms with the goal of identifying a unique use case centered around AI. While it's still early days, demand for bootcamp attendance is off the charts. Perhaps more importantly, Palantir's latest artificial intelligence offerings have played a considerable role in helping the company evolve beyond its close business relationship with the U.S. military and governments of its Western allies. Okay, as you can see here, you got commercial revenue growth and government revenue growth. In my opinion, the government revenue growth, or I should say having the US government as a customer is an extremely bullish thing, especially with geopolitical tensions currently on the rise, as many of you are already familiar with. Okay. The chart above illustrates Palantir's growth across both the private and public sectors. In the third quarter, Palantir's revenue from commercial customers increased 23% year over year, nearly double the rate at which its government business grew. Moreover, the rate at which Palantir is acquiring new customers shouldn't be overlooked. It's clear that interest in AI applications is on the rise, but with such intense competition and with many businesses not yet having clear AI strategies identified, investors should indeed be considering last year's run-up in Palantir stock before taking a position. So that's, as with all stocks, very important to keep in mind prior to, of course, going long or being bullish, investing in the stock for the long term. Is it worth it at current valuations? It doesn't matter if you're bullish on the stock or not, but if a stock has made a major run, NVIDIA is a very easy example to point to right now. If the stock has made a major run in recent months or even in the past year, is it still an appealing buy at current levels? With Palantir, obviously, my opinion is yes. Okay, so that said, let's talk valuation. The S&P 500 closed out 2023 with a 24% gain, with Palantir rising more than 160%. Palantir has a forward PE of 55.5 and a PS ratio of 17. By no means is the stock cheap at the current valuation. However, it will become cheaper with revenue, gross margin expansion, and profitability increasing over the next few years. Okay, so I just brought up NVIDIA for the purposes of just relatability. PE of 55.5 for a company like Palantir, which has a market cap of $36.43 billion, isn't too bad. Growing at the scale at which Palantir is growing, it's not too bad considering NVIDIA is currently, I'm not going to bring it up on the charts, but NVIDIA, I believe, is currently trading at a PE multiple of 95. Okay, so I don't want to compare it to a stock like NVIDIA, although I am. But just to put things into perspective a little bit, Palantir at a 55.5 isn't that crazy considering a $1.5 trillion company like NVIDIA is currently trading at a 95 price to earnings ratio. Okay, so or forward price to earnings, I'm sorry. Okay, that said, let's close it out by talking about the S&P 500 potential inclusion, and then jump into the charts. Okay, so the S&P 500 index is one of the world's most prominent stock market indexes. Palantir is inching closer and closer to becoming a part of it later this year. This will be a defining moment for the company. Increased visibility and investment is great news for shareholders. In Q2 of 2023, Palantir CEO Alex Karp hinted at the company being included as they would achieve GAAP profitability in the 2023 fiscal year. This is a huge milestone for the company, and the long-term outlook is very promising. Normally, when a company joins the S&P 500, funds are forced to buy up shares, which drives up the share price. With the company's AI story only just beginning, investors might consider keeping Palantir on their radar. Okay, once again, Palantir, in the long term, I think is still a great investment. In the short term, with earnings coming up, especially when you consider what happened after their last report, Palantir seems pretty darn exciting, to me at least. Okay, and always remember, you guys, money, once again, is absolutely where my mouth is. I have plenty of Palantir calls on deck right now. So, Palantir, after their last earnings report, which was, as you can see right here, on November 2nd. On November 2nd, we see this major gap up right here. Palantir, before their earnings report, was sitting just below $15, gapped straight up to a high of $18.30. And in the weeks that followed, climbed even more significantly over reaching, I guess, a 2023 high, and really the last high point we saw at just under $22 in late November of 2023. Okay, since then, like many other growth stocks, Palantir has been, in my opinion, it's a good thing, but they've been falling and really presenting a lot of great opportunities, again, in my opinion, to shark up some call options. And really, if you're interested in the stock for the long term, buy up some common shares as well. Okay, so what could happen to Palantir in the case that we do beat on earnings? I'll discuss my first price target, and then we'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, so again, a 30% jump in the span of pretty much 2 days happened after their last report. After this report, in the case of a beat, an impressive beat, I do think that we will be coming up to retest this broken line of support as new resistance. If we see that, that'll take us up about 24-25% in the days that follow the report. Considering we just discussed this, that wouldn't surprise me that much at all. From there, if we can exceed, if we can break back into this broken, pretty impressive ascending channel, my next price target would be, I'll get rid of that. My next target will be the line of resistance on this ascending channel, okay? Conservative resistance. That takes up about 34-35% to, $22.5 over the next couple of weeks. From there, if things go really, really well, by mid-February, best case scenario, I think we could test the top line of resistance on the reclaimed ascending channel, which would take us up about 65% to $27.50, maybe even $28 if it takes us until mid-month to achieve that target. Okay, so those are my 3 price scenarios. Again, if you guys want to know how I'm trading the options that I have, when I'm taking profits, when I'm buying potential dips, mostly when I'm taking profits, hopefully. Again, that's the first link in the description of this video. I appreciate you watching. Let's hope for an exciting earnings report. Until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.